I'm Shannon with today's Lady Virtue, and I'm here today with someone really special to me, someone that came out of my own body because he is my son, and the husband of my beautiful daughter-in-law who was on TALKEE the last time. So anyway, this is my son David.
Howdy, everyone.
His name means beloved of God. And today we are going to talk about meal prepping or meal planning, kind of cooking for oneself when you don't live with your mom or a wife and you're on your own and you have some roommates. So we're kind of going back a few years to the college experience. What prompted this for me is just thinking of a lot of my friends and have sent off college students, some for the first time. So I'm picturing them and other college students that are now figuring it out in your dorm room or your apartment, and your mom is not there to cook food for you, and hopefully you went or sent off with some skills. But anyway, we want to share some things today that may help you. So, David, you started off. Where did you live when you first went off to college?
So I first started my freshman year. It was home, and that was all online because it was during COVID. So my first semester on campus was sophomore year, and that would have been in 2021, I believe, the fall semester of that. So I lived on campus on the north side in a dorm called Schumacher, and I lived with one of my best friends, Alex Chaikin. We lucked out and got a two-room RA apartment. It had one bedroom and then one kitchen / living area. So we had everything that you would need for cooking.
So it was basically a full kitchen.
Yeah, we had oven,
small,
stove,
but you had what you needed.
Microwave, refrigerator, sink, and then space to put dishes and whatnot.
Exactly.
And then we had a small kitchen table that was extremely cramped. And then like 3 feet away was our couch that was very uncomfortable and also cramped. And then we had our small TV that had I think it was a hand-me-down from Alex, from his family. So it must have gotten hit by a Nerf ball or something, because it had this.
It's well loved.
It had a section of the TV that it just wouldn't light up right, but we just ignored it. And
thankful to have a TV.
Anytime we watched TV, that's where we were.
So. So you would cook some dinner and then watch TV on part of the screen that was visible. Well, those are good memories. Mm-hmm. That's good. So when we sent you to school, you had a meal plan for a time. Mm-hmm. Kind of was it the first semester?
I think it was the first semester. I was trying to remember how much I paid for that. I just remember it was very expensive for, like, if I wasn't getting my meals in every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then I wasn't making my money.
It didn't make sense. And so then you made a shift. So when you let go of the meal plan, then you started feeding yourself in that full kitchen in your dorm room. So
we decided that we were gonna like cook together some days. I don't remember if it was because the dining hall was closed or just like the options looked bad, or maybe we were too late to have the meal.
Timing.
But we cooked together. We used some of his like really like that pasta you just pour in the pot, and then it has some spices you throw in, and it just cooks in like 10 minutes or whatever. He had a lot of those from his mom, so we used that as the base, and then we got creative with it and added various meats like seared chicken or some kind of meatballs or something.
A couple of sophomores searing chicken.
We were like,
serious. Wow, I'm impressed.
I kind of want some meatballs, and I really have not liked some of the food recently at the dining hall. So let's cook together. That was the first semester, and then I realized, I was like, man, why am I spending this much money for a meal plan?
Yeah.
I think it's don't think it's worth it. I
Yeah.
don't think I'm making my money's worth. So
you saved money when you let go of the meal plan and decided to cook with your roommate.
Yeah, and that's not possible for everyone living
Yeah.
on dorm or living on campus
Yeah.
because most dorms don't have a kitchen that you want to use. Like
That's
there's
true.
a public kitchen, but who wants to use that? And there's like how many people in one hall? There's a lot, and then they're kind of gross. Like I don't know how many different foods been cooked in those microwaves, but that was not for me. So I greatly appreciated having a kitchen that me and my roommate could use, and
That's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah.
So you moved from the dorm off campus your junior and senior year and lived also with roommates. So you had a kitchen, you were off campus and had more to manage, like getting to the grocery store, getting to campus, sharing space, the expense of food, sharing, and responsibilities for cleaning up. There's more people to make messes, but maybe more to help. What were some of the what were some of the changes that happened in your, what did meal prep look like with the new living situation?
So my first year off of campus, junior year, there were 4 roommates for maybe a month, and then one of my roommates had to drop out. So then it was just 3 of us because he moved out and stopped paying rent after the first semester, and there was just an empty room in our apartment. But there was still like a different dynamic than when I was living on campus with Alex. One of my roommates, he would get all his food from his parents.
And so he had help.
Yeah.
So
it would have been like a bunch of canned food, and so he would just store it under his bed.
Okay, good place.
I would come out, go in the kitchen, and he would be there with his corned beef hash.
Nice.
And I was like, "Dan, do you just eat that just straight out of the can? You don't add any spices or anything?" He's like, "Oh, it tastes pretty good to me." And I looked at it and I was like, "It's not even food. That looks like cat food." But he lived off that for a little while, and he eventually started to develop more techniques for cooking his food and got creative as well. He eventually also joined with me and Alex, and that took a lot longer for him, but eventually he joined with that. And my other roommate at that time, he just, I don't know. I don't really know what he did for food half the time. I think since he worked at Outback Steakhouse, he would just get food there most times. So that would take care of his dinners, and then I don't know, he'd probably make like a PB&J or something for lunch. So that was my junior year, and then my senior year, I got in, we upsized the apartment, got added another 2 roommates, or 1 from the original count. So we went from 4 to 5. Or I guess it was mostly 3 to 5. So it was quite the jump up in roommates, and we had the same sized fridge, but 2 more people.
Oh wow! So how did you work that out? I mean, did you just fight it out, just wrestling pile, and fist fight it out, or did you use words?
Yeah, I realized quickly that this wasn't going to work if we just randomly just
free for all
put our stuff in there, because there was no order to it, and someone would get a big load of groceries from HEB or Costco, and then they would just shove their stuff in there. So we started designating spaces in the fridge for this is your stuff, this is my stuff, and this is public stuff. So the fridge door had all the condiments, and everyone would put their stuff there. And,
that's shared.
Yeah, it was community. Kind of public, not exactly. It was kind of just I think people used some of my stuff from that at times, but it usually didn't matter. And usually people would ask, but there were times where I was like, this seems a little bit lower than it normally would be, but it's okay. It's lasted me a good amount of time anyways. And I think that the biggest space problem in the kitchen was actually our freezer, because it was built into the fridge, and it's about half the size of the fridge section. And like a lot of people, like everyone had something frozen. And man, that was packed from the very beginning. So we realized boxes don't work. So if you got like frozen like fried rice packs or frozen pizza things, or I don't know, pizza rolls or whatever, or anything like that, you got to take it out of the box,
unpackaged and from then the main box.
Like unless it's like very efficiently like designed where it's actually it's more supportive than like taking up space.
It's a strong base. You know.
In that case, that was another thing. I was like, oh man, we can fit more stuff in there, but every time you open it, like several bags fall out. So that was a mess. We just had to work through that.
And that sounds like you communicated with your roommates. And worked through those issues. So that was one of your challenges. How do you figure out the space? What were some of your other challenges?
Cleaning was kind of a mess. No pun intended. It was so hard to keep the apartment clean with 5 guys, all with different schedules, and like, man, I felt like every morning I was doing dishes, and then I'd come back
at like full of dishes?
5, and then like it wasn't just like full, it was overflowing.
Overflowing.
Like, how many dishes do people use every day? Like, it was absurd to me. But I had to, like, that is something that I had to be patient with. I had to try to be patient about, because it was somewhat annoying whenever I would wake up early so I could like go to class and work out before class, eat breakfast and all that. And then I come back after a day of like doing school, working in the library and all this stuff. And I come back and there are no pans available, because we had 3 pans, but everyone used one.
Caked on eggs in the sink, overflowing.
And so I'm like, dishes. Okay, so I have to do this whole pile of dishes just so I can cook food. So we tried to do it so like you clean up after yourself every time.
If you use it, you clean up after yourself, and just kind of take responsibility individually. So you talked about those things.
We did. And it wasn't always effective. Sometimes like people had just too busy of schedules. They had
life
to
happens.
Meal prep for the week and then go back to studying for finals or whatever. So I did my best to give as much grace as possible, and just I think in a situation where you have that many people, you have to be as selfless as possible, and you just have to forget if it's fair, and just like, okay, maybe I'll help someone out for their stressful week or whatever if I just go and do the dishes myself, and then make sure that I don't do the thing that's annoying me.
So, exactly. Lead by example.
And it was like, do unto others as you'd have them do to you. So I'm like, if I get annoyed with them leaving their dishes, then why should I leave my dishes?
Exactly.
So I tried to do as good as possible for that, and I couldn't do it always. So I had to do the same thing for everyone else. Like, I'm sure they can't always take care of it.
If you did choose to show patience and understanding and grace and do unto others as you would have them do to you, did people ever dump on you? Did you ever feel dumped on? Isn't that risky?
Dumped on?
As in like, oh, we're just going to take advantage of you because he's going to just do this for me. So like, did that ever backfire on you, or were you...
Well, sometimes it just seemed like it almost felt like it backfired. I was like, man, I'm like doing all this work and nothing changes. So I started thinking, like, do they even realize that I'm doing these dishes, or do they think that this is the rate that the dishes pile up. I was like, I tested it a few times. I was like, what if I don't do the dishes for a day? And it just kept on piling up and piling up, and it got pretty bad. And I was like, okay, well, this is unmanageable.
Yeah.
I had to send a text message to the group chat and be like, hey guys, like, I've been noticing that the dishes haven't been getting picked up, and this isn't going to work for much longer. So we need to like figure out a solution for that.
That's awesome. That's a good way to say it.
Yeah, and I didn't point any fingers, and that pointing fingers just creates more drama. So I was like, I'm going to avoid that. But sometimes you do have to
address an issue. You can't just let it go. There's a time to overlook, and there's a time to resolve conflicts.
And after that, like, I noticed a lot of people were doing like their load a little bit more, and
that's awesome.
So
it was kind of you had to work through some challenges. You were challenged yourself to how you were going to respond. So you got to practice patience, but you also got to practice leadership and conflict resolution. And then are you still friends today?
Yeah. So two of my roommates I wasn't super close with. Those were the ones that it was harder for me to address the situation with, because one of them or actually both of them, had such different schedules than me. They were more like the night owls. They'd get home real late. They'd be working super late, like on their classes and whatnot. I had one that he would cook in like the 1 or 2 o'clock hour.
Oh
wow. He was very kind of he didn't like to be in people's way.
Didn't want to impose.
Like, I respected that about him, but I was like, hey man, you don't have to cook in the dark just because we're watching a movie. Like, it's whatever, like 9 p.m. You can turn the light on in the kitchen, and so you can see the food you're cooking. But he took it that far where he didn't want to bother us at all. And so a lot of times he would cook once we were all asleep. So it was hard to like talk to him like, hey, we need to figure out some kind of plan for cooking and cleaning and all this stuff, because like
your schedules were so opposite.
Because like I would leave the kitchen clean whenever I would go to sleep, and then I'd come back in the morning and there's a bunch of dishes. I'm like, man, how did that happen overnight?
The little mice came out at night, and
but he was very respectful about that, and
worked through those things. That's good.
So it wasn't too bad.
Definitely a growth opportunity.
Yeah.
What were some of your go-to meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
My go-to meals were not super exciting. They were just, a lot of it was just how easy it is to make it. For breakfast, the best one that I could do usually was boiling eggs. Which is probably my least favorite form of eggs to eat, but I just didn't have time to make scrambled eggs or fried eggs most of the mornings. I basically wake up at like probably 6, and then try to be, I'm trying to remember how early I was at campus. And it'd be about a 10-minute drive, unless there was bad traffic, and some mornings there were. And I would try to eat breakfast and go to the gym for 30 minutes at least before my 8 a.m.s, because I didn't.
And you're off campus, so you have to fit in the
so I had
travel,
to drive there,
parking,
I'd park,
walking.
and then I'd walk. And luckily for me, the gym was at the parking garage. It was the Polo Road garage, and so they had the Polo rec, and that was always where I worked out. And I was also very close to the engineering building where most of my classes were. Sometimes I'd have a lab at the beginning of the day. It'd be like 8 a.m. lab in the middle of campus. So I had a 10-minute walk. So I had to manage my time well. And sometimes I was late, but usually it wasn't by too much. And I was never late by so much that my professor or lab TA were...
You graduated. Worked out.
I graduated. Got decent grades.
You ate boiled eggs before all of that. So
sometimes I'd be eating it as I was walking to class. It was a very easy thing to eat.
Portable.
So I made sure I'd get my spices in the bag. I'd boil the eggs while I was, I don't know, maybe putting my lunch in my backpack and
so
getting
you made
everything.
A lunch. You boil eggs and make a lunch every day?
Yep, and it was usually the same thing. So my breakfast would be boiled eggs maybe, and then oatmeal. But it would depend on if I was going to campus that day or if it was a day that I could stay home. I stay at the apartment. And yeah, I had a lot of oatmeal. Got very tired of that. A lot of boiled eggs. Got very tired of those. And then for lunch, I had a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Going back to the way you were raised on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I still like PB&Js, but I don't think I've had one since college. And it's been over a year now. So
Sadie, she makes you amazing lunches now. So I mean, there's that. So
she maybe has made me one or two, but I've for the most part been on a PB&J sabbatical. So for the PB&Js, I'd get unprocessed stuff as much as possible. Get like the peanut butter that just has peanuts in it, and then maybe a little bit of salt, and then jelly.
So you like to eat healthy as much as possible, but you also have limitations, time, money. So did you have to pay for your food, or did your
So I didn't work during the semesters. I just between school, going to classes for engineering, and then homework, and I my degree specifically was very lab intensive, and so every engineering class I had through my program or department would have a lab, and so that's an extra 2 hours per class.
That's a lot.
And so, man, that took a long time. And then I had lots of lab reports, lots of homework to do, and so that took a lot of my time. And then I also wanted to just continue growing spiritually. And first semester, I just wanted to the first year, I just wanted to get involved in church. So I found my church, and then I just joined a grace group, or not a grace group, a table group, which was on Sunday at the church, right after the sermon. We'd talk about the sermon. And then future semesters, I joined a Bible study, and then I also joined this thing called Dream Team, where I would set up the church and tear it down, and just moving chairs and stuff. And then following year, I led Dream Team and stuck with the same Bible study. I was still going to the same church with the same table group leaders, and then eventually I led a Bible study. My senior year, both semesters, led Bible study with my one of my other best friends, Grant. He was the one that had the corned beef hash for his first year of college, and then Alex was also in that Bible study. Several other guys I still keep in touch with today, and all of that, I was keeping up with my spiritual life, just my Bible studies and all those things, and then my classes. Still trying to work out, and just also have time to relax, and I didn't have much time to do that. Well, most days I would come back from classes or whatever, and I'd be doing homework until, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 p.m. And then I'd come back, make my dinner, and then
it's a lot. So basically you're balancing school, and your primary job was being a student and getting good grades in those classes, but you also were involved in your Bible studies and church, and that kind of grew and changed over the course of your time there as you grew, and just more opportunities. You said yes to more opportunities, and balancing your friendships and leisure, and also feeding yourself. So that's a lot to balance. And since you didn't work, did you have a budget? Did you have a grocery budget?
My budget was weird. I didn't really have a set limit. I kind of just was okay, if I'm going to HEB, I want it to be under $50. and I could usually do that once a week. Not really sure if that is like super expensive or not very expensive compared to other college students, but one thing that I did make sure I never did was I didn't eat out very often because I could go to Whataburger for one meal and it would be at least $10, maybe 15.
Yeah.
And I could spread that across. Like if I went to HEB with $15, I could make at least 3 meals that I cooked. And so that was the main way that I saved money.
Cooking at home. Yeah. Even if it was boiled eggs and peanut butter and jelly, you still were able to feed yourself cheaper and more meals.
I knew what I was putting in my body too. Like I didn't want to be eating a bunch of processed stuff with bad oils and just stuff that's not very like nutrient dense, and it's just gonna mess me up for the future. And I could always tell whenever I would eat bad for a certain amount of time because like
you felt bad.
I wouldn't feel as I don't know, effective in school. I'd be
brain
more
fog.
tired and
low energy.
My acne would be bad.
Oh,
like I would just feel like greasier, and I'm like, it's gross. Like, why do I need to have a very low tier burger at a fast food joint? Like it's not. It's easy, but it's too expensive for the value I'm getting.
Expensive in a couple ways, like money, and then also the way you felt health-wise. So that allowed me to splurge a little bit more at the grocery store. Like some nights I would get salmon, and that was like a special meal that I would cook with Alex and Grant. Cool.
So we would be like, okay, what do we want to make this time? Oh, I'm feeling maybe a salmon with some broccolini and some rice. And it's like, okay, well that's got the protein and the carbs and then the vegetable and fiber and stuff.
Yeah.
And we always made sure to get good spices because if you want your food to taste good, you just have to have spices. Like I realized that was a very key component of any meal. It's
what were some of your favorite spices?
Chipotle powder. It's real good and smoky. It's not very spicy. Some people might think it's spicy, but it's not very spicy. And then garlic powder is always good.
Yeah.
That goes well with like anything like savory pretty much. And then obviously you had the salt and pepper. I get crushed red peppers. And then we'd get some different mixes of spices. That was just kind of what looked good in the moment. I'm like, oh, I could cook something that tastes good with that.
Yeah.
So we always make sure to get spices, and that's usually a once and done kind of ingredient. So.
And then at some point in time, you got into bulk buying. You did Costco. How did that work with your roommate situation?
That was interesting because not everyone would want to eat the same food.
Yeah.
And so we had to figure out, like, if you're gonna get something in bulk, it's more cost effective and it'll last longer. Well, you get things that last long if you're getting in bulk.
Yeah.
But not everyone wants the same item. Like one of my roommates doesn't like beans, so I would get beans for myself, and my other roommate already had beans. So I was like, okay, well, we don't have to. I'll just get the beans for myself, and I would get one of those big Costco sized like packets of bean cans, and that would last me months.
Yeah.
And then something that everyone used was the rice. So we got this 25-pound jasmine rice bag from Costco. I don't think it cost us that much. It's probably under $20, maybe even under 10. I don't remember, but that lasted more than that. Like we got the beginning of my fall semester of senior year.
Yeah.
And it lasted past like when I graduated. So Alex was still using the rice when I was taking his master's courses for biomedical
That's
sciences.
That's impressive. You got your money's worth out of that one.
Well, it's like, you can have the rice. So, like, I don't care. Even if I paid for half of it, you can have the rest. You need it more than I do.
So y'all had some shared expenses, and how did y'all work that out?
So I think we used an app called Splitwise.
Okay.
It was free at one point. I don't think it's free now.
Back in the day. Okay.
it just got just unbearable with the amount of ads, and I was
Okay.
like, okay, this was only good when it was free and
Yeah.
functional. Now it's not. So maybe I just went to Excel or Google Sheets.
Yeah.
But basically, we would, when we were at Costco, we'd have our own carts. I would put the stuff that I want in mine, and then they put the stuff they wanted in theirs. And then anything that we were all sharing, we
Yeah.
would put in like a separate group. So
Okay.
one person would pay for theirs, and then
Okay.
the public stuff. And then when we would get home, we would figure out like who wanted how much of what, or who wanted
Okay.
what. And so then we would split it evenly. So
Okay.
if all three of us wanted the rice, then we would get,
Yeah. Just
we'd
divide that
divide it
three
by three.
ways.
So
And okay.
they would send me a
So some
third.
accounting, but
Yeah.
you had a system and that everybody agreed on.
Because I
kind of
couldn't,
shop
I definitely
together.
couldn't afford to pay
Yeah.
for all the public foods
Oh, right.
for
Yeah.
the roommates.
Yeah.
And
all you
it
can
was a
eat. David just went shopping. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically like all the food that I had money going into college, but it wasn't very much, and so a lot of it was like, oh well, my loans are basically paying for a lot of my living expenses.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to pay for this later when I have
Yeah.
a job. So now that's what I'm working on.
What you're doing now.
Yeah. It was it was probably the most cost effective way to get quality food, and honestly, I think it might have been cheaper than going to fast food restaurants every day.
For sure.
Like,
there's no doubt.
Like,
yeah,
people will say that it's like more expensive to eat healthy, but I'm like, unless you're just eating like really cheap bad stuff at the grocery store, then it's not going to actually be that much more cost effective for eating out or eating healthy. And so
eating at home, you saved money, you worked through the space, you got to grow in a lot of ways, working through some conflicts when needed with your roommates. Yeah, so it was a pretty good experience. Now, if you got to go back, and what would you do differently?
I'm not even sure what I would do differently, because looking back at it, I don't think that there was anything that I could have done much differently to improve it.
Because you learned and grew. It sounds like there was, from where you started living at home, living in the dorm, meal plan, creatively cooking with your noodles as a base and adding some protein, and then moving out and living with an increasing number of roommates and working out space and finances and time constraints and all of that. You were really able to grow through that whole process. So
because every semester was different.
Exactly.
First semester on campus was in a dorm with just one roommate. The first semester of that, I was like going to the dining hall for most of the meals.
Exactly.
The second semester was no dining hall and just cooking inside the dorm. And then the junior year was with three guys for most of the year, and we didn't really cook together too much. And then the last year, we had all five, and Alex came back that year, and so he and we cooked together a lot. Grant joined us. So
very cool. Well, I appreciate you sharing all of that. Any final tips or advice or encouragement that you would say to anyone, college student living alone, trying to figure out how to feed him or herself?
Well, I would say that it's not always easy, but it's doable. And if you prioritize eating healthy, it's possible even when you're in college. You just have to just do the necessary steps to I guess spend your money wisely on like the things that you actually need instead of things that you might want or whatever else. I'm not really sure, but the other thing is like it is very important to get your meals in, because I've known a lot of people that just they skip their meals, and I'm just like, you gotta fill yourself, because you're not going to operate very well without energy. and especially if you're working out, like you gotta get your protein in and your carbs, and then definitely need fiber. That's like a very important, very important part of the
eat your oatmeal
diet that
on your
most
home days.
Americans don't have enough of. So yeah, I could probably think about some more. But
what about vegetables? One more question. How did you eat vegetables? Because as your mom, like, eat your vegetables.
I did eat vegetables because I like, and if you grow up eating healthy, you can only go so long without like
missing your broccoli.
Missing that. You're like, man, I feel like I've had stuff kind of
too much pizza.
I've had so many carbs. Like, this is never gonna come out of me. Hold on to it for decades.
Blocked up.
So like, for lunches, I would have like maybe like baby carrots or broccoli or celery, or maybe
veggie tails,
or cherry tomatoes. I would try to. I'd usually have one vegetable of the week, I guess, because we had space problems.
Yeah.
And then there's also the fact that the food doesn't last forever.
Yeah.
So
freshness factor.
One person eating one bag of vegetables, they're going to go bad before you're done with them most of the time. And that happened to me. So
been there, done that.
I just was like, okay, I guess this is a baby carrots week. Okay, this is a cherry tomatoes week. And I would get at least something. Yeah. And I tried to change it up, so
do the best with what you have.
Nutrients and stuff, but it definitely is better once you've gotten past the college stage of life. But it is a good stage of life. And I look back at it fondly.
Yeah. Awesome. Really appreciate you coming on to TALKEE this week and sharing your experiences as a single college man living with roommates in various situations, and what you learned about feeding yourself without a mom or a wife, and just manning up and not dying. Now you have that's right.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
glad to share any wisdom that I might have. I'm not necessarily the most wise out there.
Oh no, but I'm glad you could share today. Thank you. And hope to see you in a couple weeks. You can look in the description and find a form if you want to come on TALKEE, or if you have any questions. Also, like and subscribe or share with a friend if this episode will be helpful. Until then, thanks for joining us for TALKEE.